The 14th century was a period of great upheaval. It was a time of war, plague, and political intrigue. The world was changing and the old order was crumbling. The Mongol Empire, once a vast and powerful force, began to fragment. New powers like the Ottoman Empire emerged from the wreckage. The Black Death, a devastating plague, swept across Asia and Europe. It killed millions of people and left a lasting mark on the world. The 14th century was a time of both destruction and creation. It was a century that would shape the course of history for centuries to come. In the midst of the chaos of the 14th century, a new power was rising in the east. The Ottoman Empire, founded by Osman I, emerged from the ruins of the Seljuk Sultanate of Rum. The Ottomans were a Turkic people who had migrated to Anatolia in the 13th century. They were skilled warriors and shrewd politicians. They quickly expanded their territory, conquering much of Anatolia and the Balkans. One of the key factors in the Ottoman success was their military prowess. They were among the first to use gunpowder weapons, such as cannons and muskets. They also developed a strong military organization based on the Janissary Corps, an elite infantry unit made up of slaves. Another important factor in the Ottomans' rise was their strategic location. They controlled the Bosporus and the Dardanelles, the straits that connected the Black Sea to the Mediterranean Sea. This gave them control over vital trade routes and allowed them to project their power into both Europe and Asia. In the middle of the 14th century, a terrible plague struck Asia, Europe, and parts of Africa. This plague, known as the Black Death, was one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. It is estimated to have killed between 75 and 200 million people. The Black Death was caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis. It is believed to have originated in Central Asia and spread to Europe along trade routes. The disease was spread by fleas that lived on rats. The symptoms of the Black Death were horrific. Victims experienced fever, chills, headache, muscle pain, and vomiting. They also developed painful swellings called buboes in their lymph nodes. Most people who contracted the plague died within a few days. The Black Death had a devastating impact on Europe. It killed millions of people, leading to labor shortages, economic decline, and social unrest. The plague also had a profound impact on art, literature, and religion. While the Black Death and the rise of the Ottoman Empire were momentous events, the 14th century witnessed other significant shifts. Europe was embroiled in the 100 Years' War, a protracted conflict between England and France. This war, fueled by dynastic disputes and territorial ambitions, reshaped the political landscape of Western Europe. In Asia, a new power was emerging in the east. Timur, also known as Tamerlane, a Turco-Mongol conqueror, carved out a vast empire in Central Asia. Timur's ambition and military genius made him a formidable force, even challenging the rising Ottoman Empire. Meanwhile, in China, the Yuan dynasty, established by Kublai Khan, faced internal strife and rebellion. The dynasty, weakened by economic problems and factional struggles, eventually crumbled under the weight of the Red Turban Rebellion. This led to the rise of the Ming dynasty, marking the end of Mongol rule in China.